Hungrybox versus RFang. So let's see. Oh, the battlefield going up first. So let's see what they can do.
So I think right away what we're going to start seeing in this matchup is how Jigglypuff is going to really get in onto Youngling. Youngling tends to set up combos and setups with projectiles, and Jigglypuff just has an outstanding airspeed and mobility, so she's able to really get wherever she wants to be. So it's going to be interesting to see how RFang is going to approach, but once he's in, just like we just saw, you know, that 55% is going to come out quite nicely.
Yeah, it's going to be up to him to see if he can mitigate kind of like, you know, the mobility of Jigglypuff with these projectiles and kind of get his damage where it counts. Just because, just like, you know, the airspeed of Jigglypuff is like kind of deceptive. So it's just like you really don't want to like be around pressing buttons around her, because otherwise you'll put yourself in frame traps and stuff like this. But no problem for RFang with that down tilt up air conversion. Let's go.
Definitely. RFang is no slouch at all. I've seen him at many tournaments before, very well known in the community, especially on the east side. So always around putting in work. And I feel like, again, once he's in, he's able to get so much momentum where Jigglypuff has to make that effort on, okay, how am I going to get in on this character who is constantly walling me out and spacing out my options?
Right, you see Hungrybox a little bit earlier forward smashing through some projectiles, basically making them clink but advancing as well. And hey, like the thing about Jigglypuff is like, you know, one frame trap means like a sing, right? And a sing could possibly lead into a rest. And like the rest, like it's so explosive. And look at this. Speaking of explosive, RFang coming through with the combos, and here we go, finally. But a little bit of extra credit on RFang's side, you know, able to get a 76% lead, and let's see if he can keep it.
And you're exactly right about, you know, the setups from Jigglypuff. This is one of them right now. We have the pound into the up air. We also have down air into rest. That is now a confirmed setup by Jigglypuff depending on the angle. And also the edge guarding. This is the one thing I was worried about in terms of RFang. How is he going to recover? A very linear recovery, very exposable, where Jigglypuff really does such a good job at taking advantage of by going off stage and making sure characters like Youngling just don't recover back.
Right, and it's the fear, right? You know, how do you make, in a split decision, you have to make like, okay, how am I going to get back to stage? Do I take this risk of up being and getting hit again? Do I air dodge in the stage? These are the type of things that, you know, RFang has to mitigate, kind of figure out. Oh my goodness, and that's something also that's so good about Youngling, is that his frame data is so good that some moves that you think that don't have lag on them or end lag on them, they definitely just pop right out and you get hit with another move. So
that's
good.
Exactly it. You know, you're going to see these follows from Youngling, but hey, you know, Jigglypuff showing that she's got quite a touch of her own. Let's see if he can catch the recovery here. Now, an edge guard situation, very important to always stay centered. Always kind of corner your opponent and rack up as much damage as possible. And it's so easy for Jiggs. We just saw again recovering because, you know, Youngling likes to kind of cover options on ledge. Yeah. But, you know, if you're Jigglypuff, you're going to go fly right above. Like, he's not going to do anything. And now we're in another situation. And that fair is going to do it once again. Good stuff to Hungrybox. Started out a little bit behind, but was able to adapt, learn about the character and playstyle of RFang, and was able to really open up wisely with a bait and punish approach.
Yeah, once he finally got the game in his pace, he was able to really just, you know, dictate how the game was going to go after that. See, like, the thing about, like, Jigglypuff is, like, once you once you have a lead as Jigglypuff, it's really, really hard, especially with a playstyle like RFang's, exactly. Where you got to, you know, kind of get all these hit confirms and things like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, you were saying how Youngling really opens up strongly when he gets those hits and gets those setups, but when you're behind as Youngling, it's now your job to not play that, I'm going to stay back game, but I'm going to actually approach and have to play a more aggressive playstyle. So that's where everything changes. And we're seeing a little bit of an opening here from Hungrybox. You know, this was a different opening in game one, but now he's more of the approach type and being a little less bait and punish and more aggression. So really showing the momentum and differentiality from Hungrybox.
He's willing to box with him, which is very important, right? He's not willing to, you know what I'm saying, let himself be susceptible, let himself get hit by any type of cheese. You know, Jigglypuff, of course, has, you know, sing and rest, but, you know, hasn't been getting hit by that. He's willing to box him out. And, like, once he's playing fundamentally. And once he has a lead, like, you know what I'm saying, going off stage and stuff. And unfortunately, RFang not being able to snap to the ledge with that up B and, like, barely. And some Younglings actually have a little bit of problem with that. Like, they'll up B, like, near the ledge and they'll think it'll snap. But unfortunately, he fell to his death. So, strong lead coming out here for Hungrybox. And this is what I'm talking about right here. But the Hungrybox, Jigglypuff being so light and RFang getting that kill with the up smash. Very nice.
It's always a risk and reward, or in this case, a punish if you're going to go for something like that. It was a really nice situation. You know, Hungrybox being in the lead, the worst case scenario that would have happened is he would have just lost his stock, bringing it back to an even game. And Hungrybox was able to, you know, really risk that moment and kind of go back to this game of, I'm just going to get you off stage. And that's really the plan against Youngling. The reason why he wasn't able to recover before is because he waited past his limit before putting out that up B. And because of that, he wasn't able to come in. And that Nair, again, is just going to constantly clip you. Missing the back air, lucky for RFang. Let's see if he can keep it in, stay more centered, and really do a good job at boxing out Jigglypuff.
As you said, Supergirl Kells, like if you keep neutral as Young Link, you can really start to throw these projectiles and really change up the pace of the game. Right here we go, Boomerang, and that conversion, beautiful, baby. And here we are in the blast zone. What's the move here? And slowly trying to get to the other side of the ledge. Good air dodge down by Hungrybox, and Hungrybox kind of feeling the pressure a little bit from the game of RFang, you know what I'm saying? And RFang is really going for the stuff that'll kill, the down airs and the uppies and things like that. He sniped him. Okay, uses the bomb, is definitely going to recover, but had the bomb in backup, just in case.
I love that his priority was, let's get a bomb out. You know, he still had his jump, he had his recovery, but in case Hungrybox would have sniped him, he would have been ready, but even then, Hungrybox was even more ready to catch that tech and get that fair to seal out that stock. We are now in a last stock situation here for the winner's bracket for RFang. Let's see if we can get some follow-ups. I love the way, Banjo, that Hungrybox is just playing so centered. You were talking about before he was kind of being tech chased. He was having a hard time just being comfortable on the stage, but he was able to just not commit, stay patient, and find his way around the projectile game from the Youngling, waited for the commitment, and then found himself in. That back throw not going to do it, but an edge guard situation here.
RFang having just a little bit of trouble like sealing the kill here, and like that's the problem you face when you fight a really seasoned Jigglypuff like Hungrybox. And as I say that, the Nair powerful enough to kill at 130 with a lightweight body. So Hungrybox 10%, 21%. The Gale Boomerang, yes, we see the conversions happening for RFang.
Wow, was even able to extend it with the soft Nair into the hard Nair, so even that little bit touch more of damage. 89%, such a great string that you were saying. That pressure from Youngling is so explosive when he's able to open up. And now here we go. Hungrybox, though, has been amazing and super consistent with these ledge guards and tried getting the back air, but luckily for RFang, living another day thanks to the Master Sword. They're not going to hang in there. He's going to go for the up air. Who's going to take it, Banjo?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, you see the trades happening out here that's so close, and Jigglypuff pumping him in. The back throw. What's the move here? And
there it is.
Uses the soft Nair, and he's not going to make it back. So Hungrybox, and he says, yo, that was a little too close, but Jigglypuff prevails, man. Hey, one of the best in the game in Melee, and